We're back on this. We got out of the worst creepy road, and I mean, it was the creepiest road we've ever been on. It felt like we were gagging as we did it, but we're on another little road to the cemetery, and it just feels like it's closing in on you. I know you probably can't tell this in the video, but it feels like it. It just feels heavy. And this cemetery, it has scared the crap out of people. They've seen shadowy figures, they've heard growling, they've seen things. So we're almost there. We finally arrived at Cal Cemetery, and I understand why they talk about being haunted. You can't even hardly breathe. It just feels so heavy out here. And I guess it's a kind of private cemetery. There's just a old gate to get in here, if we can. Aaron, do you feel that? It just feels heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the cemetery. There's a lot of down trees. Oh my gosh, I understand. Over there in the corner I'm about to go explore is where this one team that came out here of ghost hunters saw a shadowy figure. They talked about seeing it over in the corner. And it was a figure of a man. At first they thought it was a animal because it was growling at him. But it was a figure of a man. See, we're back here exploring more of Cal Cemetery. As you can see, it was so hard to get to. The roads were creepy. They were very tight, trees on both sides. Not more than one vehicle could get through. There's down trees, like maybe lightning have hit them. And it just feels spooky here. It just feels like I think I would actually, and I'm not afraid of much in my life. I think I'd be terrified to be here at night. I'm just having trouble breathing, walking around here. It feels so oppressive, and you just feel like something's here. You feel like there's darkness here in the light. This corner is where the team of ghost hunters said they heard growling and they saw a shadowy figure. And maybe I'm just jumping at ghosts, but I swear I saw movement in the brush back there, but probably just tricking my eyes. This looks like it used to be maybe an outhouse. I don't know. Something has destroyed it. Literally destroyed it. There's old graves over here. And it smells weird. It smells so very weird. And I swear I've heard some weird sounds. But maybe it's all in my head. But this place feels so spooky. The other corner of the graveyard. And I don't even know what this is. It's just a big mound. It's got all spider webs. I don't know what the heck this is. It's like a little hill in the middle of there. And there's busted down trees, burnt down trees. And you see the cemetery proper over there. My wife over there taking pictures. She said she felt it too. It just feels heavy. And the road coming here felt haunted. I swear it. I just don't understand what could have completely destroyed that outhouse like that. Like something just demolished it. And there's all these little graves. All these little headstones. Burnt down trees. And just a darkness to the whole place. Like something's not right here. Just like something bad. We come to the back, the other side of it, nearest the road. If it is even a road. I don't even know if that is a road over there. And they've kind of dispersed. But everything's been pretty much, spooky feeling out here, dark feeling. But we haven't seen anything like living till we came to this tombstone. And though there's nothing around it that we can tell, this thing was covered in flies. And the flies have disappeared for the most part, but it was covered in flies. It was very creepy. In fact, my wife's words were, "That's not creepy at all." So I wonder why. It just feels like I'm choking over here. This graveyard is one of the creepiest I've ever been at. The whole road to here, everything just feels wrong. We're walking around again. We are hearing things. sound like heavy thuds or even some kind of animal. But we are hearing things and we're listening for it now. We are literally in the middle of nowhere. Nothing anywhere near us. In this creepy little... You heard that too, babe? I'm thinking it's getting close to time to get the heck out of here. We're just hearing weird sounds in this creepy cemetery. I'd be danged if I'd ever be in here at night by myself. Or with an army. This place just... we're just hearing weird things. We're about to get the heck out of here. This place is just creepy. Getting out of here because this place is just creepy. But one of the creepiest things besides the flies over the one headstone is these fake flowers just jammed in this tree, and I have no idea why. The tree just is torn up. It's nasty. It smells weird for some reason, and these flowers are just jammed into it. It's incredibly creepy out here, guys. Cow Cemetery, easily the creepiest, spookiest feeling place we've ever been. We have found a vehicle graveyard, and this is just the tip of it. See tankers, trucks, part of vehicles rusted out. There's more along the side that we're not going to go to, but these is like a bunch of old, broken down, rusted out vehicles that have been abandoned. This one looks the newest of them. You can see a lot of them are just rusted completely out, and this looks like the gem of it. This right here, oh look, rusted out, busted down. And right here, this one's had the engine ripped out and everything. There's a lot more. They're buried in here. They're everywhere. This is just like a car graveyard. Continue to explore the car graveyard. And there's so many cars out here buried in these woods that we can't even see them all. My wife has found a very interesting one. Wow. I don't know how old this vehicle is. It's a rusted out tanker of some kind. Probably got rats living in here. You can see in here. But there's so many vehicles out here just everywhere. They are literally everywhere. Buried in the trees. I can't even tell how many are out here. It's just it's literally what I said. It's a car graveyard. Guys, welcome back to the channel. We are looking at a burnt out, supposedly haunted, according to the locals, speakeasy. This was made of petrified wood and stone, and was supposed to be the beginning. I think it was supposed to be originally going to be a firehouse, And it was the start of what we're going to call Petrified City during the Petrified Wood boom. And like I said, during Prohibition, this is where they illegally sold alcohol. It's burnt out, it's damaged. They've actually been working on it to clear out some and to quell the rumors of it being haunted. You can see all the damage inside and how nature's kind of taken back over this. I love the art style of the building, the petrified wood. It's really neat. Hey guys, welcome back as we further explore this petrified, burnt out speakeasy where they used to illegally sell alcohol. As I mentioned, petrified, you can see, and I wish you could feel it, the petrified wood here. Put into the stone and the rock, but this is petrified wood. And the place is just, and it's actually for sale now, but the locals claim you can hear weird noises in here at night and stuff like that. I don't know. I've never been here at night, probably never will be, but this is in the middle of nowhere, and you can see how it is just destroyed on the inside. There's nothing left on the inside, but I can imagine there used to be a little bar area and everything else, and wow, it must be beautiful in its day. A little bit more of the outside of this petrified wood and stone, supposedly haunted, burnt out speakeasy building. Back then this used to be all trees and brambles, and this was really hidden. Now there's a road, a very small county road and everything, so people do come down here, people visit this because of the quote-unquote being haunted. But back in the day, this was hidden, and when it was a fire station, it was supposed to be the focal point or begin point of this whole petrified wood town because of the petrified wood boom. But alas, that didn't happen. And it's really neat, you know. You can feel the history here. I don't feel ghosts here like in some of the other places we visited, but you can definitely feel the history, and I love that. And this is outside again, as you can see. It's completely burnt out, but the wall, there's no roof, there's nothing like that, but all the walls are still standing, all the doors and windows are gone, but time is held firm, and this haunted speakeasy is still standing. We're in Bluffdale, Texas, and this is quote-unquote the oldest suspension bridge in the U.S. It's not truly, that's still standing. It's not truly a suspension bridge, but they count it as one. As you can see, it is falling apart. That's my beautiful wife under it. It's all turning in the middle. We'll show you an upward part of it in a minute. Guys, here's a little bit more shot from underneath the bridge. As you can see, it's very rusted and very worn out. And here, guys, you can see more where the bridge is actually bending to the side, and they're afraid it's going to fall over into the new bridge. As you can see, the bridge is closed, but we're going to go on it for just a little bit. Okay, as you can see, it's bending in the middle, curving down, and we really can't get to the other side because of that. We're like going sideways right now, but it's getting close to going into there. Part 2 of our video, as you can see, this is all rusted. It is just corroded, covered in stuff. We're as far as we can safely go. We can actually hear the bridge making noise. So if we go any further, we're putting ourselves in a little bit of danger. But you can see the bending, the broken stuff. It will eventually fall into that other bridge, so they're about to demolish it. But it's historic. It's the oldest quote-unquote suspension bridge. You see the suspensions in all the U.S. that's still standing. The only bridge still standing like this, the oldest one still standing like this in the U.S. How does it feel to be on the suspension, the oldest still standing suspension bridge in Texas, in the world? Actually, not the world, the U.S., in the U.S.
It feels amazing. Just thinking about how many people have been here and seen this and walked across this before we did. It's awesome.
I know, I feel the same. You can feel the history of it. It's just a shame it's fallen over, but time marches on. We are at White Church Cemetery in Glen, Texas. And this is, it appears to be the church has been abandoned and is no longer open. And the cemetery is supposedly haunted. But we are going in. And as you can see, it's an old-timey church. And it has been abandoned. Supposedly this is haunted. That's what the locals say. All this is haunted. I don't know if it is or isn't. But you can tell nobody's been in here for quite a while. The stage is coming up. It's rotting. Wow, this is just amazing. And it just looks like a one-room church. I think this just leads out to an old porch. But this is an abandoned church. And supposedly, like I said, haunted. All right, and as you can see, like the floor is falling apart in this abandoned, supposedly haunted church. And one whole side of it, see, there's my wife sitting there, is actually leaning, like the whole side is breaking. And you can just feel it's colder in the church than it is outside by far. It feels weird in here. Does it feel dark in here to you? Like not like just dark, like it's not well lit in here, but just like something dark. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel right. The air feels heavier to me. Does it feel heavier in here to you?
Yeah, it sure does.
It's an ominous feeling. I can understand why people say it's haunted. And the whole place it's only open from sunup to sundown. They don't want anybody here after that. Enter the cemetery. Supposedly, like I said, the locals say it's haunted. We'd rather be here at night, but we can't come here at night. But it was established, White Church Cemetery, established in 1879. All right, and there's this building here, which I'm not quite sure, but it's weird looking in here. And it's just a stone building with a broken up rock in it. So I don't know what that is, but we have some old graves here, some very old graves. I see some from the early 30s. And earlier than that, I think the oldest graves are going to be over here. So we're going to go look at those too. This is a grave from 1911. Look at these graves. They're actually some of them are in pretty bad repair and some are pretty new. I don't know if this is family maintained. You see it's old, rusted fence. The fence is very, very old, obviously. Locals claim this place is haunted, like I said. Nobody's allowed here after dark. I don't know how you'd find it after dark. I mean, this place is really hard to get find because it's off of so many old roads. But some of these graves are very, very old. 1908. This one says 1854, I think. I can't tell when he died. He was born in 1854. But I can see why people might say it's haunted. The whole place just has a weird feel to it. It feels like it's hard to breathe out here. You just feel like something on you. 1926, 1895. This grave is from 1895. I mean, I'm walking around here and I just feel like the air is heavy. Not as bad as in the church, but the air feels so heavy. This grave my wife just pointed out. We believe this was a pregnant woman. It gives the age of the woman, but then adds in 4 months and 14 days. So we think that's how far along she was in her pregnancy. It's very smooth. You got a hand point down in a rose. Unfortunately, the grave is in bad repair. I mean, she died quite a long ago. It looks like in the in the 1800s maybe. Yes, the 1800s. And if you look at it, there's seashells on there. The detail is amazing, but it's almost like a crib-like structure, the way it's been put in, and the woman must have been very small. It is just, that's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. And over here appears to be maybe the mom or dad, or maybe it's her husband, I don't know. Or her brother. Guys, we are still at White Church Cemetery, and this is unique, at least to me. It's an above ground grave. It looks like you could actually slide this aside if you want to do that. I would never be disrespectful like that. It looks like someone's done it before and broke it. There's actually a couple like that. And then in the distance is a grave all by itself, fenced off. So we're going to go look at that. All right, here's this grave by itself. There's no way in unless you hop this, and I'm not disrespectful enough to do that. And it's a very old grave. I can't see all of it from where it is, but it looks like someone who passed in 1887. I'm not sure how well you can see that. And they were born in 1844. This is such an old graveyard, and I do understand why they say it's haunted. Okay, we came across some pretty old gravestones. This one had actually toppled, and it probably weighs 300-400 pounds, but luckily I've trained for strongman. I was strong enough to pick this up and put it back on. This person passed in 1884. This person passed in the early 1900s. The whole fence is falling apart, busted, but we had to fix that gravestone. My wife is always the one that thinks of kind things, and she's like, we got to. And I'm glad we did. I may not be able to breathe for a while, but I'm glad we did. See, the fence is completely falling apart. We're going to fix that for him. And this gravestone is from the late 1800s. The place is falling apart a little bit. Parts is taken care of well, and parts of it not. But I guess I'm kind of glad we won't be here late at night. This place definitely has a haunted feel to it.